guys, and welcome to Pros on Cons, where we are in no way professionals, nor do we always talk about cons, but I like the name, so we keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So today we are reviewing MTAC 2015, MTAC 15 to Life.
15 to Life.
Which was obviously Easter weekend. It's always over Easter weekend.
It is. New venue.
We had a new venue.
Old venue too.
Let's for a minute, I want to discuss the venue, because I think a lot of what MTAC in Love was lacking. A lot of the problems came from that venue.
It was way too small.
It was much too small for the growth of that con. Now we've got a new venue. We've got
New old,
right? Because
yeah, because they were there.
GMX was there once before too. It was pre Nashville Geek Girl, so I don't know.
No, not GMX. GMX wasn't there. MTAC was there once before though.
MTAC was still pre me.
But
GMX is going to be there this year.
It is going to be there this year.
So we want to talk about, we had the Sheraton and the Marriott.
That's right.
Right there by the airport. Which ones are they? Is it it's the name of the...
Oh, I don't know. Oh, you got me.
Oh, because it's not Cool Springs. Like, we had the Cool Springs Marriott.
Yeah, it's not Cool Springs.
We should Google that before we do these things.
Yeah, you would think we would look that up.
We should have information.
Thus, we're not professionals.
We are not professionals. So anyway, MTAC 2015 in the new venue, which was beautiful, and we were all super excited. We heard about it at the end of GMX last year.
Right.
And so everybody was very excited, and did it hold up to the hype? What were the pros and the cons of the new venue? So the pros, obviously, much more space.
Lots of space.
MTAC needs a lot of space. MTAC is continuously just blowing itself up, just constantly growing.
I haven't heard their final numbers, but I'm sure they are over 6,000
I heard it's over 6,000. Okay.
Over 6,000.
So yeah, I had heard somewhere around 6,000. So MTAC just requires a lot of space.
There's so many people.
And so these were gorgeous hotels, first of all.
Beautiful.
One of the things we were super excited about was the courtyard, and the courtyard held up to the hype.
It did.
Until midnight.
Until midnight.
At midnight, we were kicked in. I'm not sure I've ever been kicked in to a place before.
I've been kicked out of places, but kicked in? People, really?
Yeah. Apparently they closed down the courtyard at midnight, which for a convention that's not a good thing.
It was sort of like, hey guys, party's over. And
At
Jack
midnight.
was sad.
Yeah. And I didn't even turn into a pumpkin or anything. So, that's a con. That was a con. Another con is that the two hotels were quite a bit away from each other. I know a lot of people thought, well, we'll skip the line of the shuttles. They did have shuttles, and the shuttles were running, and that line was keeping pace. It was not bad.
It was handled well.
But if people decided that they didn't want to wait in line and that they wanted to walk, they regretted it immediately.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So the two venues are quite a ways apart.
Uber came in handy.
We Ubered a lot. We Ubered a lot because we're not good at waiting.
I don't like to wait. I'm very impatient.
So we're just plugging Uber, by the way. They're in no way affiliated with this podcast at all.
No.
I mean, if they would like to be, they could.
Yeah, feel free.
They could throw some advertising our way. Cool. We'll take it. We love Uber. So the pros of the venue is beautiful. Definitely big enough. The hotel rooms were really gorgeous.
They really were nice.
They
all had balconies.
Don't get on the roof.
Yeah, they get mad when you get on the roof.
We didn't.
No.
We didn't do it.
I didn't do it.
We saw some crazy people, and they ran away.
There might have been some drunk debauchery going on. I don't know. It was insane.
So it's just beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. The courtyard held up to the hype. Super excited about GMX. I hope that GMX works out something with the con.
Yeah.
Because it would be a great place to party. Maybe they'll do the first floor as a party floor, and then you're not sort of.
They definitely need to work something out with the hotel about that one policy and ignoring it for the weekend, because it is a perfect place to party, spilling out into the courtyard.
Beautiful.
And all the bottom floors, the balconies open up to the courtyard.
Which is one of our favorite things about Chattanooga, is that beautiful courtyard that they have, and they have all the room parties down there, and that always works out really well. So hopefully GMX will work something out with them. Because I know that the noise level gets loud. We were in the party hotel at Chattanooga, and You know, I think there was one night I thought that the balcony door was open. It was so loud, but you just sort of like laugh it off. You're at a con, you close the door, and you go back to sleep.
Yeah,
I mean, or stay at the other hotel. Maybe
stay
they
at
work
the other
out
hotel.
something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that was the pros and the cons of the venue. Now we need to let's talk about panels and contests and entertainment value. MTAC is huge on entertainment value. They pack so much into that weekend.
Yeah. Music, panels,
which
cosplay.
Kind of comes to their detriment sometimes.
Because
not to be a negative Nelly, but I just feel like, you know, I like to get my app on my phone and schedule all the things that I want to go to. But the turnover on these things, you know,
they overlap too much.
They overlap.
Your taste.
You have to be in line for an hour before you can get into a panel. So if your panel is ending and you have 10 minutes to get to another one, give it up. You're not going. You're not going to make it. That line's been full.
And as cons get bigger, this is a typical thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
you just have to plan better. You have to know that unless your panels are an hour apart, you can't back to back. You can't back them up.
No, which is why, honestly, I didn't attend any panels. I was only there for Saturday, and so I was trying to cram a lot of con into a short period of time.
Yeah.
And waiting in line for a panel just wasn't something I was willing to do that weekend.
I thought that they did a little better this year with the head counts of the lines. A lot of problems that people were having. A lot of feedback that I heard from MTAC and Love was that people were waiting in line for an hour to then be told that the room that they were waiting for had reached capacity. And so I think that they tried very hard to keep that to a minimum by counting heads in the line, which of course you have some people who are holding places and that kind of thing. It's just impossible to
But for the most part, I didn't hear that again.
It was a lot better. It was a lot better. Like I said, I understand that there is a lot of balls to juggle when you're doing something with that many people and that, you know, that amount of time. It's all in how you handle it, and I thought that they did a much better job. And let's not forget that these are volunteers. These are not people getting paid to do this. So, you know, heads up.
Good job,
you
guys.
know,
this year was definitely a lot better.
Hands down, 1 in a million times better.
It felt like MTAC again, and honestly, I heard from a lot of people that it felt more like MTAC than it has felt in a couple of years.
Okay.
So, that being said,
good job, Nico.
Good job, Nico. Very good job.
What else have we got? Because we want to talk about the crowd. The crowd was very upbeat.
The energy was great.
The energy was amazing, and people were friendly, and we met, again, I just stopped and talked to people that I probably never would have, which is one of my favorite things about conventions. There was a lot of cosplay. MTAC, local anime cons, but MTAC especially, are just a mecca for the best cosplays. That's when people showcase their best.
You kind of make me proud of being in Tennessee. When I come into a local con and everybody's showing out.
Just beautiful, beautiful cosplays. Just amazing. Everywhere you turn. We had the Avengers were assembling in the courtyard constantly, and that was a gorgeous group. They had all the Narutos. Was it all the Narutos? They had a little photo shoot. There's like 12 Narutos. I don't know what the plural of Naruto is.
Narutai. I don't know.
It's the Pokemon thing all over again. So we've talked about the crowd. The crowd pros. The crowd was in a great mood. When the crowd's in a great mood, the volunteers are in a great mood. When the volunteers are in a great mood, staff is in a great mood.
It brings the fun level up too.
Yeah, you know, so everybody being in a great mood is a cycle of awesome, and it just continued and it kept going. And it was, even when we got kicked in from the courtyard, we were a little miffed, but
I still went and had fun.
Yeah.
I met some new people, and
you went to the analog gaming room.
I did, like I do. I was
How
like,
was the analog gaming room?
It had a good selection of games going on when I walked in there, and I mean, this is at 12:30.
Yeah,
Saturday night, 12:30, and they had a good crowd in there, and people just sitting down. So I think some people were playing Pathfinder. I was playing Card Against Humanity. I think I saw a game of Munchkin going on, and I mean, just there was quite a few games going on, and a good level of energy in that room too.
So then, I I can't really speak on the talent too much. I know I'll do better in the future, you guys.
Here's the thing about talent at an anime con.
On anime. I like some anime. I absolutely do. I love my Black Butler. I love Bleach. I do. I'm not huge on meeting each and every voice actor, and I can't always tell who they are because I haven't seen their face.
The thing about an anime con, and it's almost universal, is at a local con, if you've been to one anime con, the exact same voice actors, for the most part, are going to be there. It's not a very deep pool to pull from. It's not a very deep pool. So, you know...
and that's true with anything, though. How many cons have we seen Gigi Edgley out lately? Like, we see the same people, give or take. Not that that's a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing.
Garrett Wong has been a staple at GMX for years and is like a friend now. When you see him, you stop and you catch up.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad thing. And like I said, you guys, I'll be way better at figuring out who is at these anime cons and whether or not they're cool for you guys. So that's another thing something I want to work on for the podcast, video vlog, this thing that we're doing right now, this whole thing.
All
right of
here.
this.
Hi.
Okay, so that said, we were only there for Saturday. I know that the autograph line was huge, but I felt like it was contained fairly well.
It was very well contained and organized, and it looked like it rolled through pretty quick. I've seen worse.
Again, if you guys have a different opinion, obviously,
drop it in the notes.
Drop it in the notes, put it in the likes, help your other con goers out, let them know. Another thing that I want to touch on is the dealer room, because I love the dealer room.
She likes to shop.
I love the dealer room at MTAC. The dealer room at MTAC never disappoints. I always come back with a million things that I love.
She spends all the money.
I do. I do. In fact, I'm going to pause, and I'm going to go get my stuff. Okay. So hang on. Okay. All right. Another thing that we're going to work on is preparedness, because I was obviously not a Boy Scout.
She was not a Boy Scout.
Okay, so first of all,
she's a girl.
I am a girl. In fact, that segues so nicely into my first purchase, because I needed a purse like a grown-up, but not. So I got R2-D2 backpack, which is amazing and matches my phone case because I'm a grown-up. But now, here's the big thing. MTAC had 2 dealer halls. 2 dealer halls and an artist alley.
And you had to buy stuff in each of them.
Well, obviously.
To even it out.
I mean, I don't want one room to be jealous of the other room.
That makes sense.
So, I got something that I've been looking for forever, and it's cone. Cone. I don't know how to pronounce it because they pronounce it differently. Depending on whether
English
it's soaked.
Or...
Yeah, but I like Cone, and he's adorable and evil, and I love him so much. So, obviously, the dealer hall at MTAC never disappoints.
And the great thing about her haul at the dealer hall this time is going out in public, carrying her bag or cone or whatever, people walk up to her and go, "Oh my God, where'd you get that?"
I hear it all the time. Where did you get that purse? At a convention. You can't have it.
You don't see that stuff in stores.
Yeah, I love the dealer hall. That will make or break a con for me, honestly.
And the way the artist alley was blended in between the two, was wonderful, well organized. Mm-hmm. It flowed well.
Now, that said, we went Saturday about 1:30, 2 o'clock. And the flow was good. It was a bit crowded, I mean, as it's going to be, but it was moving along just fine and things. I did, however, hear that other times during the week, it was a clusterfuck.
Well...
Do we drop F-bombs, or are we just going to drop F-bombs?
Is that what we're going to do?
I think we're just going to drop F-bombs.
Okay.
It's fine. It's my podcast. I'm dropping F-bombs. Dropping them.
Surprised the hell out of me. So, yeah, I heard it was majorly congested, over capacity, and when you're dealing with 6,000 people, at some point, the majority of them may decide to go shopping. Guess what? It's going to get kind of weird.
And with it being sort of a new venue and things, there were kinks to work out. So obviously Saturday was better than Friday. Volunteers and Fred, the gentleman who ran the dealer halls, you know, they figured out what didn't work Friday and fixed it on Saturday, which is amazing.
That's what's important.
Yeah.
I don't mind you making a mistake.
I don't expect you to get it right the first time.
But if you're on top of it and you get it taken care of, learn from your mistakes.
We moved through beautifully Saturday, just in and out. It was fantastic.
I wouldn't have known there was a problem had other people not told us.
Yeah. So so we've covered the dealer room. Was there cons to the dealer room?
I had no con to the dealer room.
Maybe a little bit, I think, that I heard, and that we actually had discussed.
I mean, they didn't have kilts.
And that touches on the problem that some people had in that there wasn't a huge diversity. And I mean, there was toys and clothes and things like that, but there wasn't. Some conventions you see a better diversity of things.
That's true.
So there wasn't, which anime cons are kind of subjugated to a certain spot.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're catering to the otaku crowd, which means that you're looking for Asian influence goods.
Yeah.
Throw in a little steampunk because anime has steampunk, and boom, you have your dealer hall.
Yeah. So it was a great dealer hall. The only con that I would think of was, like I said, Friday apparently was a bit congested, being a nice way of putting it, and there wasn't a huge diversity of goods.
Fair enough.
So, but obviously I love it. I spend all my money at the dealer halls. I not just, you know, I mean, I suppose you can get some of these things on, like, Amazon and eBay, but I really,
I'm sure you can, but seeing it in person, you know what you're getting.
Well, and I like to give, you know, I like to shop there so that they continue to come. Does that, you know? Because I feel like if a dealer comes to a con and they don't sell anything, they're not going to be there next year, and then we lose out. We're missing out on something.
Right, because you never know what they're going to bring.
Yeah. And, so I love you know, the things that I got. I love handmade. There wasn't a ton of handmade booths.
You know, outside of the Artist Alley, I don't think I saw any handmade goods.
And I love, like, local handmade geeky goods. This is one of my favorite things. If you guys know of any local handmade geeky Etsy shop, local brick and mortar, put it in the comments because I'll be there and I'll spend the rent. I will spend my rent. So that's, you know, that was the only con. There wasn't a huge diversity of things. They did have, like you said, a lot of otaku, but if you want a kilt, you gotta go to GMX or Connuga. But if you want anime stuff, you know where to go.
Yep, Pocky. Lots of Pocky.
Lots of Pocky.
I like Pocky.
So did we cover everything? We covered, what about, well, last but not least, the party scene. So we touched on that. We got kicked out. However, we got kicked in. Got kicked in.
No, I didn't get kicked
very
out.
Nicely. We have to say that they were very nice about the fact that they were kicking us in and they were closing down. They were very nice. The hotel staff was always very courteous. So don't want you guys to think that. We just thought that it was odd that we got kicked out of outside.
Right. It was a little weird. On the party scene,
I spent a lot of time at the AkaiCon party. The AkaiCon parties and I have a huge history of just awesome.
AkaiCon knows how to party.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Hello Mark can kick a party into high gear in a sec.
Yeah, it's true. So, on the party scene, obviously there's room parties. There is no party floor at MTAC. It's not geared towards a party scene as such. But it's always had room parties. So if you know the right people, you got friends, you're going to get invited to a couple of room parties. Or one's just going to kick off because you happen to be in a room with a bunch of people. Speaking
of, the AkaiCon room party is where I spent a lot of time hanging out with the gentlemen from Two Player Media, which they do Ned and Ted. They're hilarious.
They were pretty much stuck in character all night, so it was funny. I
met them and I was like, you have to do Nature Time because Sugar Packets is my favorite thing ever.
Oh, Sugar Packets. Oh, Sugar Packets.
That's how cool I am. So yeah, I hung out with them, but I spent a good deal of time at the AkayaCon party. I always have a lot of fun with those guys.
I stayed for a little while. The sad thing is I kind of left to go see some people, and then by the time I got back, I literally walked in as the room party was being shut down.
Closing it down. People were trying to sleep, apparently. I don't know who does that.
So, and that's the thing. When you have a con that doesn't have a con floor or a spot for room parties to specifically happen, room parties get shut down because they get too loud. And that's what happened. So
we're going to say that MTAC isn't exactly a party con.
It's not a party con.
It's not a party con. It's a good time. We had a really good time.
I did have a great time.
So was there anything else you wanted to touch on about MTAC?
I think that pretty much covers it.
Is there anybody that you need to give a shout out? Because I need to give a shout out to the Banff cow, because he is the baddest cow. And he is one of our biggest fans, and I saw him this weekend.
I saw him too, and thanks for asking about us, and thanks for supporting us, and we want you to continue watching and giving us feedback, because that's important. Yeah,
and everybody give us feedback. That's the only way that we can grow and figure out what you guys want us to do, because we're here for you guys. This isn't event promotion. We want to let you guys know what cons to go to, when, how, and why.
Yeah, when to spend your money and when to stay at home or
when
find
to take your
else.
little brother and when to leave him home, when to, tell your parents where you're going and when to leave your phone at home. Don't do that. I need to cut that out. That was terrible advice.
She is bad.
That was terrible advice. Now, I did get a chance to talk to a noob, and I got to talk to my illegitimate daughter, Amber, who it was her first convention ever. And every time I saw her, she was just having an amazing time. And she had super fun at the rave, even though she had feet. Even
when she was completely exhausted and leaving the con for the night, she was still glowing.
Yeah.
She had
so it's definitely a good, and it was your first con too. So I would say that MTAC is definitely
years ago, but it was originally
not this one.
Not this one.
Not. So yeah, I would say this is definitely a good foot in the water convention for sure. It's definitely a good one to start with. I started with GMX, which I don't at all regret. But it's not really a newbie con. It's kind of it's a little more advanced convention.
Yeah, you could get swallowed up at that con.
Sink or swim at that one.
Yeah.
So I would say that, yeah, definitely MTAC is one to take your little brother, your younger neighbor. It's a good one to...
it's safe for kids.
Yeah.
It's calm enough for the older crowd to walk in there with the younger crowd and have a good time.
That said, if you don't like crowds... MTAC may not be the con for you, because MTAC is constantly just whoosh, people all around you, in your personal bubble, all the time.
All day, all night.
Yeah, so...
It's 24 hours, people.
You've been warned. Just people. Now, they're amazing people. They're awesome, and always...
Yeah, if you enjoy a random game of werewolf or ninja in the middle of a bunch of people, this is the con for you. It's going to happen.
Yep. So, yeah, so that's MTAC. MTAC 2015, we're giving you the pros, we're giving you the cons. If you like anime, if you like to shop anime geeky stuff, if you like to meet new people and be around people and meet voice actors, this is the con for you.
If you like to shop.
If you like to shop, this is the con for you. Yeah. Okay, so that's MTAC. Up next, Jack is going to try and make it to Catan Con, which is brand new, and is a tabletop thing.
Yeah, it's all analog gaming, so it's going to be held at the Opryland.
Gaylord Opryland, the last weekend in April. So
that's where I'm going. I hope to see you there.
Nashville Geek Girl. I will be in Knoxville at one of my favorites. I'll be in Knoxville at the Marble City Comic Con. At the end of April. It is up and coming, and it is becoming one of my favorite small cons.
How would you best describe that con? Just to give somebody an idea, if they're thinking about going that weekend, what do you think that they got to look forward to most?
I think that if you like to shop, and if you want to meet writers and artists and actors and things, that's the con for you. It's at a convention center, so it's not in a hotel, so it's not really a huge party con. We tend to make our own fun. You know, so it's not a huge party con. It's not super big on entertainment just yet. They're still sort of coming out of their shell of what was a day comic book.
So we could call it a bit of a dealer con at the moment?
I would call it a bit of a dealer con, but it's definitely coming up. They're definitely starting to get into panels. They have an amazing cosplay contest. And just Knoxville's beautiful. I really do enjoy Knoxville.
Knoxville is pretty. If you're in the right area.
Yeah.
It matters.
Stay near the con.
Stay near the con. Seriously.
So, okay, so we covered MTAC. We covered what we're doing next. We did say that we weren't professionals, right?
Yeah, we're not.
We did that? We're not at all. If you've ever seen us at a con, you know that we're not professional at all. Okay, so that's pros on cons. We don't have any on-site interviews this time because we only went Saturday and we didn't really have our equipment together and things like that. So we don't have any on-site interviews. We will definitely pick those back up, hopefully, in the next installment. The next installment of Pros on Cons.
That sounds professional.
That was good. I was proud of that. So we'll definitely pick up. So if you want to talk at a convention, come and find us. Tell us your pros and your cons. Hit the like and subscribe so that you can keep up with us, and we would appreciate it very much. Say hi to us at any convention or event that you see us at, because we love to meet new people.
Absolutely, and feel free to buy me a drink.
I don't even know where to go from there except to say bye.
Bye.